So now we're going to look at the 6 trigonometric functions for special angles in the first quadrant. So quadrant 1. Okay, so we're going to have an angle that's 0 or 0 degrees. We're going to have pi over 6 or 30 degrees. We're going to have pi over 4 or 45 degrees. And we'll have pi over 3 or 60 degrees. And then we'll have pi over 2 or 90 degrees. Okay, now I'm going to keep my chart the way that they have it in the textbook, so you can refer to that if you want to. Normally I always put sine on the top line, but I'll just be consistent. So, okay. So when I want to do quadrantal angles, sometimes for me I like to draw a picture and think about, okay, that's 0 degrees, so I'm right there on the x-axis. The point is 1, 0. And so I'm going to say the cosine is 1 and the sine is 0. The tangent, remember, is going to be y over x, so that will be 0. The secant is going to be the reciprocal of the cosine, which is 1. The cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Okay, now how are you going to do the reciprocal of sine? Sine is 0, so you're going to have like 1 over 0. This is going to be undefined. So let me write this out. The cosecant of 0 would be x over cosecant is, 1 over y, but y is 0. So you have 1 over 0, and that's undefined. So that's what we put here. I'm just going to write UND for undefined. Okay, I write too big to fit the word undefined in there. Okay, cotangent. Cotangent is going to be x over y. So that's going to be 1 over 0, which is also undefined. Okay. Pi over 6 or 30 degrees, we did that one. We said the sine is 1/2. The cosine is the square root of 3 over 2. Then if you think about the tangent being sine over cosine, or if you want to pull out your x and y. Anyway, when you rationalize it, it's going to be the square root of 3 over 3. Now, if you want to think reciprocals, secant's the reciprocal of cosine, which is going to be 2 over the square root of 3, but you'll have to rationalize that. So it's going to be 2 times the square root of 3 over 3 for the secant. Okay, now what about cosecant? Well, the cosecant is going to be the reciprocal of sine, so that's going to be 2. And then the cotangent is going to be the reciprocal of tangent. That's just going to be the square root of 3. Okay. Now, pi over 4, the sine is the square root of 2 over 2. The cosine is the square root of 2 over 2. So the tangent is going to be sine over cosine. That's just going to be 1. The secant, you'll have to do the reciprocal of the square root of 2 over 2. So that's just going to be the square root of 2. The cosecant is also going to be the square root of 2. And then the reciprocal of the tangent, this will be cotangent, the reciprocal of 1 is 1. Okay. Now remember, we said there was a relationship between 30 degrees and 60 degrees, and that their cofunctions switch. So the sine would be square root of 3 over 2, and the cosine is going to be 1/2. So I'll try to draw this in. It's like this one's coming down here, and that one's going up there. They're switching places. But now you can find the tangent. The tangent is going to be sine over cosine. So sine of pi over 3. Oh, well, I wrote it wrong. Sine of pi over 3 over cosine of pi over 3, which in this case is going to be square root of 3 over 2 over 1/2. So that would be the square root of 3. And then secant is going to be the reciprocal of cosine, which is 2. Cosecant's going to be the reciprocal of sine, which is going to be 2 times the square root of 3 over 3. Again, these are co-functions, so they switched places. We'll talk about that more later. And then tangent and cotangent, those are going to switch places too. And so the cotangent for pi over 3 is going to be the square root of 3 over 3. Okay, now we're up here at 90 degrees, and so that's a quadrantal angle. The point is 0, 1. Oops. Let's see if I can just move that a little bit. 0, 1. And so the sine is going to be y, which is 1. The cosine is going to be 0. The tangent's going to be sine over cosine. That's going to be undefined. The secant is going to be the reciprocal of cosine, which is going to be undefined. The cosecant is going to be the reciprocal of sine, which will be 1. And then the cotangent, well, the cotangent's going to be, think of it as, let's see, I'll write it here. Cotangent of pi over 2 is going to be x over y. So in this case, it's 0 over 1, which is 0. Okay? So that's a little chart for the first quadrant, the quadrantal angles and the special angles. Really handy to be able to do that. So.